So this is what life is like on the road, guys. Got everything in one neat little suitcase. Got ourselves a nice funky Airbnb. And we got a little dual workstation set up. We are quite dynamic. So, one of the privileges of Airbnb all around the world is that you get to see a variety of different things, such as this magnificent piece of engineering. Look at that. It is a toilet with a sink on top that fills up, or helps fill up the reservoir. Absolutely magnificent. I don't know why. This is stock standard everywhere.
Hotel de Ville.
Magnificent. As we're walking around, we just had the discussion really briefly about the idea that you have to swallow your pride. You gotta, as a guy, you have to swallow your ego.
Yeah.
If you ever want to progress.
Well, your ego is lying to you. When you start out, your ego is lying to you.
Trying to protect you.
Trying to protect you from the...
Well, your ego is trying to protect itself, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. But it's a lie, like...
And the perfect example, we were talking about one of our friends who you used to go out and do pickup with, who would make an excuse make a million excuses as to why he wouldn't approach.
Yeah.
And talk to women, but he would at the same time insist that he was really good with the ladies and really good at, seducing women and stuff. So that's his ego protecting him from shattering his own delusional worldview of himself.
Yeah, that's very well put. The problem with that is that you can never progress until you're able to get past that, and you have to pop the bubble of your ego, of your false illusion, before you can build yourself up with something real. And unfortunately, the longer you leave it, the more you put it off popping that bubble,
the harder it gets
because you always have to start from scratch after you burst the ego bubble. And so the longer you leave it, you have to do more work. You've left it later. You can't. There's still the same amount of work that would have been to be done.
Well, now there's more layers of delusion. You just
spent time reinforcing the delusion to avoid the fact that you had to build yourself up from scratch. And sometimes you just have to do this. You have to get past burst your illusion bubble and just build yourself back up from scratch. And it's very difficult to do, but I would make the argument that it is less painful to do that than the alternative, which is to live in an illusion and live in a fake dream world almost, where you convince yourself of something that is simply not true. And then if you will eventually pay the consequences for that one way or another, and it's going to be harder if you don't face up to it.
Well put. We just spent a couple of days in the town of Rouen in France, and it had a really depressing vibe to it. And absolutely everybody was wearing masks. But here in the city of Bordeaux, it is absolutely beautiful. There's lots of people running around, walking around, not wearing masks. Everyone looks happy, everyone's smiling. And you can see why. Look at this fantastic architecture. This city is absolutely gorgeous. It is just stunning. I don't know what this thing is, but I like it.
Oh, hell no!
Now, we are in a very beautiful place. This is a cemetery.
They're really going big with they go big with their gravestones here.
It is just magnificent. We're
this much in England. There's 20 great seriously.
I mean, look at the size of this crypt.
That's like some sort of Roman bathhouse or something.
It's huge.
That's what she said.
You know. And you're right. They do take their cemeteries very seriously here. And you can see, so these have been around for a long, long time. And this is why I really like walking through old cemeteries. We can't even make out the date on that one, it's so old. But
I always find them very peaceful cemeteries.
yeah, that's the point. Yeah, I find cemeteries to be very peaceful. I find them to be a place of sort of solemn reflection. You know, a good place to reflect on your life.
I think it's because cemeteries are quite timeless in a way.
Exactly.
So this place has been here for a long time, hundreds of years, and it will be here for hundreds of years. So it kind of puts your own trouble or whatever it is that you're going through
into perspective.
Into perspective, because it's
Well,
not
and
a very long period of time. Really.
I like the idea that it gives you a reminder of your mortality. That you have a finite time on this planet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And you should do with that time as much as you possibly can, and accomplish as much as you possibly can, and leave.
Squeeze as much juice out of it. As
Exactly.
you can.
And leave some kind of a legacy, so that at some point when you pass away, maybe if you've left a strong enough legacy, your descendants will want to honour you.
Venerate your memory.
Exactly.
That would be a real honour.
Right? Because I remember we were walking through another cemetery closer to where we're staying, and there was this great big bust of this gentleman who died in, when was it, like the 1980s?
Oh,
1880s. And it was just a beautiful bust of the man sitting on top of his gravestone. And I thought to myself, that man must have garnered a lot of respect from his descendants, from his children, for them to put that effort in.
That's a good point, man. I think it also reflects a bit more of a long-term viewpoint that people used to have that's been a bit lost today. People today live very much for the moment. It's like, oh, how can I get laid tomorrow? How can I do this now? How can I make money now? Blah blah blah. People used to have a much more long-term view of these things, and I'm sure that man whose bust was there probably did a lot of things in his life that he would never see the benefit of in his lifetime. Same way that people build these buildings, that they're not going to get the benefit of them in their lifetime, but it's more of a timeless thing. It's like a long-term way of thinking, a bit more in touch with nature, a bit more spiritual, I suppose.
And then it also links in, and you touched on this yesterday when we were going for a walk. You said a good frame of reference to come from in life is this idea of your ancestors are constantly watching over you.
Yeah,
judging you.
I have to give credit to the Golden One for coming up with this. You can, if you want to find his videos, you can just put the Golden One into YouTube or whatever. But he came up with this thing of like, your ancestors are watching you. So every time you're about to do something that you know is wrong, that you shouldn't be doing, you can just imagine this idea that your ancestors, and you've got hundreds of ancestors going back, every single one of those carried the genetic torch and passed it on. And they're watching you, they're all watching you, and they're thinking, is this guy gonna make my pain and my sacrifice worthwhile right now in his lifetime? And this can really make you think, if you're about to make a bad decision or do something that you know is wrong, can really help you to, hold on, do I want to disrespect my ancestors like that? What if they were watching me right now? Should I be doing this? And it can help.
There you go. I can't tell what this is, but it looks like some kind of, I'm disrespecting it, man, but it looks like some kind of pagan grave or something.
It's a weird one.
It's
a monolith.
I've never seen a headstone like this with this kind of inscription on it.
I have not either.
Magnificent. Look what we got here. We have some kind of an Illuminati pyramid in the middle of this cemetery. It's so old we can't read the damn thing. But I have never seen a gravestone like this in my life.
1821.
Okay, there we go.
But then maybe there's multiple people.
1857.
Maybe there must be multiple people.
Yeah. Well, we've come across another pyramid over here, and then another pyramid over here. Gotta say one thing, and that's that the French certainly know how to do cemeteries. This is just outstanding. When I eventually die, I want my crypt to have gargoyles on it. Look at this magnificent thing. Well, this is supposed to be bad luck.
If a black cat crosses your path.
Hey, kitty.
I thought it was good luck.
No, that's definitely bad luck.
Oh dear. Because that's the first time that has ever happened to me.
Hooray!
A black cat has literally walked across my path. Hopefully this doesn't mean I'm going to lose my trump there.
You might be in the shit.
I'm going to touch some wood. There you go.
No, that'll undo the cat.
Unresolved.
There are so many names on this World War I memorial here in Bordeaux, France. It's a lot of young men who laid down their lives.
These are just so you can't walk 5 meters in
Bordeaux without
tripping
seeing
over some sort of castle or something.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So this bridge that we are walking on right now was built during the era of Napoleon.
J'aime Napoleon.
J'aime Napoleon.
Vive Napoleon.
It's stood the test of time, that's for sure. It's a beautiful city surrounding us. This once proud and majestic beast is now locked up behind bars in a cage. What does this world come to? Ah, goodness me. I mean,
It's keeping people safe.
is it?
Keeping people safe. You can't get COVID from the lion now, can you?
And the lion,
It's got a fence around it.
and the lion
It's
can't
safe.
attack you either.
Yeah.
So it's you know.
It's an ugly lion anyway. It deserves to be fenced off.
So, for some reason, Bordeaux seem to have all these KFC knockoffs. So we have FFC, which obviously stands for fascist fried chicken.
MFC,
We have
Marxist fried chicken.
right next door we have MFC, which must be Marxist fried chicken. There was
CFC, communist fried chicken.
yes, CFC, which was communist fried chicken. There we go, CFC, communist fried chicken.